What up? What up? Thank you guys for joining in today. I am BK back with another banger. Hope all is going well with you all out there in the real world. Hope all is well with you and yours. Today I'm bringing to you a video centered about these bugs that are festering the MPC software. The MPC 2.7.2 update was released about going on it'll be like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks beside this time this video is published and you're viewing it. Everything is smooth for the most part. The network MIDI works with Studio One. I haven't gotten it to work with any other DAW. I haven't tried since you guys may have seen that video. I plan on doing that today, but not in this video. If you witnessed any of the last videos that if you viewed any of the last videos that I uploaded, you might have noticed that there was some buffering issues and CPU spikes. The CPU spikes are still relevant, but what I noticed that's causing the CPU spikes, and I'm not positive if it's an isolated thing, and Akai love to use that word, isolated. I'm not sure if it's an isolated incident, but if any of you are having this same issue as far as when you load in a sample, whether it be the patch phrase loops, also the key groups, when you get up in the high octave range, it's causing CPU spikes and it's causing it to buffer. Also, the Elastique Pro situation, I've been testing this for like the last hour or so, off and on, doing chores and stuff like that. So I come back and I check in but it's been operating smooth since I figured out what the issue is, and I want to share that with you guys today. So pardon my over-talked introduction. Now let's get to business. So let's start with the patch phrase. So I'll go back to track 1. Let's solo this. So this is the patch phrase, right? So per se, this was, I opened it up, I had the patch phrase, I got this going. So as you can see, the warp is not warping on this, right? It isn't warping. If I reverse it, it doesn't reverse. What I'm realizing is that I'm currently in the main mode, right? So normally I'd be in the main mode, I'd go to the wave and I'd warp. It's not working like that as normal. In the 2.6 it was working, 2.5, 2.4, 2.0. Ever since this warp situation function was available, you could be in main mode, go to wave, and do whatever you're gonna do. Not in 2.7.2. So what I came across is that if you go to program edit, right? You seen how it changed to reverse and the warp was off? That's because I originally had it that way. So you see now, if I go back to home or main and I hit the warp, it stays the same. So I can't make any adjustments right here. So that becomes a little bit of it, you're working and you're trying to warp it, you're trying to reverse it, but it's not reversing. I do videos, I share my work, and I work on my own time. So sometimes when I'm in the zone and I'm trying to teach and I run into these things, it makes me look like I don't really know what I'm doing. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. I'm saying that as facts. I'm doing too much problem solving instead of creating. Instead of working to create, I'm doing too much problem solving. Now, Akai has a beta team that they're using to solve all of these issues. The MPC 2.7 shouldn't have been released until all these issues were solved. Again, I don't know if you guys are beta testing just the hardware units and you're not beta testing the software that's is shipping with, that you have to use on your computers. If you're not doing that, you need to tell the public that you aren't doing that, right? So the workaround for this issue is you have to be in program edit in order for these things to work. This wasn't a thing before. I don't know why it is a thing now. It was not a thing prior to this update, or I didn't notice it prior to this update. Okay, so all right, so we off that. So again, in order for the warp function to work with patch phrase, it's the same. I'm noticing if you got a chop sample, a chop program, you have to be in program edit in order for it to work. All right, so now I got so the sample that's chop, and I'm in main mode, but I have the wave open, right? No movement whatsoever. But if you go to program edit, so reverse is working on the regular program, but it's not working on the patch phrase if it's not warped. It's a little confusing, but notice that warp is off, but the reverse is working. All right, and again, if you go to main and you make these adjustments, the reverse is off, warp is off, no movements. Go back to program edit, see that the warp is on. So I don't know what that's about. Again, I don't know when that began, but it's a thing now in the 2.72. So if you're running into the issue where you're in main mode and this is occurring, just go to program edit and make your edits that way. That's brand new. It's brand new for me, and I'm sure it's brand new for you if you've been accustomed to working the way that we were accustomed to working prior to this update. All right, moving along. Let's go to the key group. Now, again, it's the same deal. Turn this off. Turn it on. Does nothing. And notice that it says it has no sample right here, right? You go to program edit. With program edit, you got to make sure you got the program edit with key groups. You have to make sure that you have all selected when you're making these adjustments. All right. Again, if you're in main and you got the wave open and you're thinking, man, I'm doing this, but it's not doing anything. The reason is you have to go to program edit in order for that to occur. Now, the other issue is, and I'm hoping that it does it on camera. It's been doing it all the time before, but I wasn't noticing. Okay. I didn't know that that's what was causing it. Now I know. All right. So I'm going to raise this up so I can hear it. When you get up into these higher octaves, and it's worse when you're on like a pad performance, a pad progression. It's crazy. So now watch this. The CPU is actually spiking. Did that just say 382%? 900 and what the? What? And I promise you, I did not know that's what was causing this before. Okay? That is a problem. Like nothing's playing. That's me being in octave 6. Go to octave 7. Octave 8. Go back down to octave 1. It's still buffering, but not as much. Octave 1. Octave 2. I have no idea what that is about. So I'm about to do real quick because I didn't check this part off camera. I'm about to check it right now. I'm on Elastic Pro best quality sound. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on least CPU just to test it. That's octave 2. That's octave 3. Octave 8. So the issue is the Elastic Pro mechanism. And it's supposed to be the best one, but the thing is it got my CPU going nuts. I'm gonna free up my memory, right? All right, so now my CPU is straight. So now let's try ELastique Mobile. It automatically starts buffering. Did it just play another? It's crazy. So it's not even playing the right key. That's not even what was being played down here. This is Elastique Efficient. So for some weird reason, it's changing the tonality of the actual keys that are being played. Now we're back on Elastic Pro best sound. And that's causing the CPU to spike. So there it is. And just so you know, right? Go back into octave 7. I'm going to go to grand pianos from Keyscape, but I was trying to get up into those higher octave range. The furthest this goes up with audible sounds that you can hear is octave 3. When I go to octave 4, octave 5, octave 6, 7, 8, go back down to the key group. And that's what the key group is supposed to be. It's supposed to replace VST instruments, right? And there's not no wild amount of anything on this key group. It has reverb, and is one layer. Okay, it's reverb with one layer, reverb, delay, and the fuzz wah ear delay. So I've found the culprit to what's causing the buffering in my recordings. It is the Elastic Pro best sound. It is CPU intensive, but it's not only that it's CPU intensive, it's also causing the audio warping to like do some out of this world stuff. So if you guys are going through this, I just showed you the steps to remedy it. 1, go to general in your preferences, change your audio warp algorithm to MPC least CPU. I prefer working on Elastic Pro best sound, and that's what I'm going to continue to work with. Off camera, it wasn't bugging like that, how you just heard it. But while the screen capturing, it's a little bit more intensified, but it still does it. So when you get up into those high octave ranges, it's going to cause the CPU spikes. Crazy, right? So my suggestion would be, the workaround is to work in least CPU. There isn't really any workaround, man. Akai just need to fix this. Forget the workaround. Everyone that's working on this, because I've seen a couple of people comment about that key group situation. You guys this is what it is. It's the Elastic Pro audio algorithm. So hit the smiley face down here, report a bug. It brings you here, right? So I put the audio warp BPM detect function in preferences is not fully functioning and performance is not standard. Audio warp algorithm is causing tremendous CPU spikes when in Elastic Pro best sound. Also, the warp functions when in main mode of the MPC does not work. An individual has to go to program edit for the warp and reverse to work. This takes place with drum programs and key group programs alike. This was not what we have grown accustomed to since the feature was originally added. Please look into this matter ASAP, as the new MPC 1 is gearing to ship, and the newbies are going to harass customer service once those spikes start to happen. And that is exactly what is going to take place. So if anybody from Akai is viewing this right now, I challenge you to go back in office and tell them to work on this like today, like right now, okay? Like right now. You guys are seeing me do this when this published, but I'm going to email this to them right now. So hopefully they jump on this right away. All right, because the MPC 1 is guaranteed to ship any day now. And once that happens, it's not going to be pleasant. So any of you that are viewing this, whenever you use that smiley face to report the bug, be sure to add in your specs, your CPU, your RAM, any audio devices that you have plugged in via USB, and any plugins that you are using during the time of the issue. It tells you right here, please place your comments here, including your CPU, RAM, audio device, and any plugins. All right, so I'm going to ship this out to them. And again, sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. Oh man, just got love. So because now I don't know why that came to me, but sometimes I do feel nutty because I send that off. They say thanks again for providing your feedback. If you have questions or if you need to talk with Akai technical support, which they don't answer the phone, please contact us by visiting akaipro.com support for nothing, because they don't help with that either. So that's like defeats the purpose. But I feel like a nut because I never get a response back on that, but they are getting them. Trust and believe. All right, so Elastic Pro is the culprit. So if you're like myself and you're working with Elastic Pro, you might want to cut back on it a little bit depending on what you're doing. But then the time stretch mechanism doesn't work as great in the software. Now, I haven't tested the MPC in standalone mode to see, but the MPC in standalone modes, sorry for me abruptly interrupting myself. In standalone mode, there's no Elastic Pro. It's only MPC lease CPU. MPC lease CPU. I show you better than I could tell you. In the standalone units, it's only MPC lease CPU in the audio warp algorithm. That's why the likes of many who shall remain nameless but always say, yo, banger, you don't know what you're talking about, they shall remain nameless. They don't use the MPC software, so they don't even know that on the computer Elastic Pro is here. And that's the same. Elastic Pro is the same as what's in Ableton Live. It's the same as what's in Studio One, and I believe Fruity Loop FL Studios. Okay, so for those of you who say that there's no time stretch, there is. The algorithm is here, but it's only on the software. So that's my rant for today. I hope this video helps someone out there who was having this issue. I know some people was commenting saying the CPU is causing spikes. If you're on Elastic Pro and as your algorithm for your warping, that's the issue. If you're having issue where the warp function is not working, you have to be in program edit when you're here. When you have this wave open, you have to be in program edit. If you're in main mode with the wave open, it doesn't work. All right, I hope this helped you. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any in detail comments or any in detail questions, post it up in the comment section. I'll get back to you at my most earliest convenience. And for all of you who I have been helping, understand that I do not get paid for that. Okay, I'm not getting paid by Akai for any of my videos that I'm doing. I'm basically doing this because when I started this, I needed to know certain things, and there was no one directly right in front of me to ask a question. And when I picked up the phone to ask a question to Akai, they was giving me the runs, okay? So when I take my time out to record these videos, I screen capture, I share, I then edit. I put timestamps in there to help you who want microwave information. I put the timestamps there so you can get to it when you need to get to it, because everybody just is on microwave time. This information is not microwave, all right? It's slow roasted. Alright, so utilize the timestamps and the timestamps, but I started to say that Akai is not paying me for any of these videos, so I appreciate it if you thumb it up. Even if you thumb it down, it is what it is. It still generates the algorithm, YouTube's algorithm, to populate it. If you dislike the commentary, if you dislike the information that I'm providing to you yourself for you to dislike, go ahead, feel free. But you can thumb it up. It costs you nothing. Also, this video is powered by Cookies, so visit the link in the description area. Help me help my daughter have a wonderful cookie season. All right, with that much said, music is life. It is our DNA. Keep banging. Peace, love, and light. Till next time. Peace.